All right, we're out here in Bartlett, Illinois. You can see behind me all of our products here. We got mulch, we got some Pennsylvania fieldstone steppers, bags of gravel, some more Pennsylvania, and a ton of granite. Our biggest obstacle on this project is gonna be our access. There's two options. One was that staircase way back there, which wasn't an option. The other option is this hill right up here. Everything's got to come up this hill, up through this gate. Right now, Chris is working on disassembling this thing, moving some wood. Hey, there he is. Say hey, Chris.
What up, Chris?
So I think we voted on not taking this post out, but seeing if we can just take this panel from here to here, put a plywood runway down, and then we're gonna come right up through here. See the guys are taking their lunch. We got kind of a later start today, finishing up our project earlier. And then here's where the pond's going. We got a 16 foot by about 15 feet this way, like a 15-foot stream. This area right here, I located the cable TV, so we're just gonna pull that up before we start cutting out all the grass. But it's gonna be a really cool job. Nick over here said it best, kind of refreshing that we get to start something from scratch. We haven't done one of these in a while. Most of our projects are rehabs. But we got a nice sized pond coming in here, little stream. There's gonna be a bridge right about there, nice sized waterfall, pathway leading to the bridge. Bridge then leads to a small little seating area over in here. They want us to go about 3 feet deep, so we're gonna try to sneak that machine back here. Way back when we used to dig all this stuff by hand. Now we're all old and lazy, so we're bringing the machine back. So one of the first things we do on every job, especially on a new construction job, is get rid of this grass. One of my biggest pet peeves is having grass come back up through the berm. It's just annoying a year later to try to weed all that stuff. So you can see Udi over here starting to pull that stuff up. We'll haul a lot of this grass away. Some of it actually gets buried in the berm over here. Just keeps things nice, clean, and neat, and looks a little bit more professional when we're done. Hey, it's Brian with Team Aquascape. I'm out here in Bartlett, Illinois, and it's been a year since we built this project. And I remember, it's funny because it's kind of like a flashback. I don't know if you can see this, but I remember when I came on this consultation a little over a year ago and instantly thinking to myself, this is gonna be tricky because this front yard is on a massive hill. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it's a pretty steep slope from here to here. And I remember thinking the access along the driveway, and this will really give you an idea of what that slope is like. But at the end of the driveway, I remember pulling up thinking there's no way I'm getting up those stairs to get in the backyard. So the only way this was gonna happen was to come around the front here. These steps also give you a pretty good idea of how high this front yard is. So I came around the back, and the whole time I was designing, I'm thinking, how am I gonna get back here? And what was great is when I said it was a flashback, I remember having to take this whole fence apart here. I remember coming through the gate and then being like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get my machines back here? But we did it. Our machine is about 5.5 feet wide, and we pulled out a bunch of these hostas. We put plywood down over this entire thing, and then we were able to sneak around the left side of this pin oak over here and come around that way with everything. And oh my gosh, you can tell that they've been busy. I mean, it's 100% fall. It was fall when we built it last year, but look at how great this looks. This is very typical this time of year. You can see the net that they've placed over the top of everything. Actually, it's pretty transparent, but there is a net over the top of this whole thing to keep all the leaves from that oak tree. That, oh, that's a black walnut. That's a black walnut tree over there. They got some other stuff back in there. They got a weeping cherry over there, but it actually looks really good. The water quality is spotless. You would have guessed somebody was out here cleaning things, but no, it looks really good. All the fish are getting hunkered down towards the bottom there. That water temperature starts cooling off. The fish actually go into kind of a state of hibernation. So they're all down there right where we would guess them to be this time of year. That's a fish cave right there, and they're all sitting in the deepest part of the pond, kind of going back and forth out of that fish cave there. The only thing I remember doing different with this pond was originally we dropped in a wooden bridge right here. And then this spring, they didn't like the look of the wooden bridge, so we brought out this enormous piece of bluestone, which ties in really, really nice with these bluestone steps here, and then comes back across. But listen to the sound of that waterfall. It's a great upper pool. I love doing these waterfalls. We call these little V waterfalls, where we take a big rock on one side, a big rock on the other side, choke it down to, you know, 4 or 5 inches wide, and you take that 5,000 gallons of water per hour and you get a really deep babbling brook. The other great thing we did on this project is, if you look at where this fall is, too often we put the biofalls right behind that, and then you're stuck with trying to set this boulder and this boulder according to the shape of that biofalls container. Instead here what we did is we set the biofalls back about 6 feet, built up dirt in front. It allows the water to come out of what looks to be more of like an upper pool before we can drop it. When we do it like this, it eliminates the complexity of having to build the waterfalls right out of the container. Instead, that goes here, where I can then manipulate the dirt however I want to create this waterfall. I can't manipulate the shape of the biofalls, and that's why it's a little bit more complex. It's an awesome, easy trick. You just need a little bit more space. I think Patty has done an unbelievable job with the plants. I love the grasses back there, and this is the first year. So imagine as that river birch gets bigger, the weeping cherry gets bigger, sumac gets bigger, how much incredible this pond's gonna look. 100% this pond is going on one of our pond tours. I just love it. I love so much coming back to visit these projects. I guess the only other thing I would really point out that I like about this one are these big flat ones. So we went with granite boulders, which tend to have this kind of rounder look to them. Granite boulders also give us more of this babbly brook type sound. We've got a great little split waterfall over here created out of them. Got a sheet style waterfall on the left, and then I love that tight little waterfall right there, kind of coming down through there. I like the rock out in front of it, which actually helps kind of circulate the water in 2 different directions around here. What I really like this one is these big flat, what I would call destination rocks. You can imagine with the netting off of this whole thing, how many people love to come just walk right up to them. And that's why I call them destination rocks. There's not a person in the world that comes in this backyard that doesn't go right to that rock and kind of look out over it, or right to that one and stand on it, sit on it, and look out into the pond. Great job, Chris. Great job, team. Great job, Patty, for making this thing look as good as it does. It looks incredible. So really cool to be back here. I just love coming back to visit these different projects. This one looks exceptionally nice. They've done a great job with all the plants. You can tell they take care of it just by the water clarity. The fact that it's netted this time of year means they want to make sure it's gonna look better and better year after year. The water lilies look like they've been maintained. The plants are already cut back. Everything just looks perfect. For it to look this good this time of year, you can only imagine what it looks like throughout the summer and what it's gonna look like next year. I can't wait to show you this project again this time. No, let's do it not this time next year. Let's do it. Let's come back in the spring and show you what this one looks like with all the color and everything else that comes back up through it. Hey, if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, make sure you hit like, comment, subscribe, and we'll keep doing it for you. Thanks. Can't wait to show you another one. Bye.